President. For completely unknown reasons, a huge asteroid is heading on a collision course with Kerbin.
Relax, I know what to do.
Attempt to redirect it using proven or feasible techniques such that it doesn't cause an extinction event?
No.
Here's our asteroid, a humble 1.2 kiloton rock with the catchy name 2025 NJ. As far as asteroids go, it's nowhere near extinction level, roughly 800 million times smaller than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, and would likely only cause an airburst at worst. For some reason, the asteroids in KSP are freakishly huge for their mass, likely because of asteroid mining balance reasons. This means that they have a lot less inertia and are way easier to redirect. In spite of this, we can still test the redirection methods, knowing that realistically, they would have to be scaled up quite substantially. There are many different proposed ways to redirect an asteroid: shine a massive laser at it, pull it via a spacecraft's gravity, or even push it with a nuclear bomb. Only two are actually possible in KSP. Kinetic impact, i.e. slamming a spacecraft into the asteroid, and conventional rocket engines, which is exactly what it sounds like, strapping rocket engines to the asteroid. Ironically, kinetic redirection is actually one of the few things in KSP that is less efficient than in reality. This is due to the game not modelling ejecta, the material that is thrown up during a collision. Of course, there is a good reason why this wasn't modelled, namely performance, but it's an interesting thing to talk about even if it isn't in KSP. When the ejecta gets ejected, thanks to Newton's third law, it pushes back on the asteroid. You end up with what is essentially a very short-lived rocket engine with a strange propellant made up of loose rocks and dust. My impactor was relatively simple, essentially just a probe core, xenon tanks, ion engines and solar panels. It didn't need to be too complicated. Getting a close encounter was difficult. If it weren't for MechJeb's rendezvous window telling me the exact closest approach, it probably would have taken me a great many attempts. Thankfully I managed to get it on the first try. The impact altered its trajectory from a collision course to 170 kilometers. Barely missing, but still missing, so I consider it a success. If I wanted a larger safety margin, or to redirect a heavier asteroid, I could have either increased the mass or the velocity of the impactor. I would probably say mass, since I have worries that KSP's janky physics might cause the impactor to phase through the asteroid if it was going much faster. A big issue with this type in real life is the amount of propellant required. The delta V requirement can be as low as a few meters per second. The propellant requirement, on the other hand, is significantly higher, especially with larger asteroids. Luckily in KSP, all asteroids are not only incredibly small, but also made out of the magical ore, a wondrous material that can be somehow turned into any of the three propellants in the game. This means that for this type of asteroid redirection, you're able to use the asteroid as a sort of strange rocky fuel tank if you need it with electric propellant. This makes this kind of redirection incredibly easy to pull off. The main difficulty is the centre of thrust. It's quite difficult to align the spacecraft so that it pushes directly through the centre of mass of the asteroid. If it isn't, then the offset thrust can cause spinning, which can get out of control very quickly. Luckily, when targeting an asteroid, it sets the centre of mass as the target. The main difficulty then is finding a flat enough spot on the asteroid for the claw to attach to. This can be somewhat finicky, but not too difficult. A major advantage of this method, both in reality and in KSP, is that it allows the asteroid to be mined for its precious resources. Of course, KSP isn't super detailed in this respect. There's no Kerbin economy that could benefit from an asteroid's worth of iridium or some other precious metal. Something strange happened when I was about to bring the asteroid into Kerbin orbit. For some reason, I guess a hidden Mun assist, it suddenly ended up in Kerbin orbit without me doing anything. It wouldn't have mattered either way since I did have enough delta V to regardless, but it was very odd. That's all for this video. I'd like to apologise for just how late it is. I've had a lot of my time eaten up by recent exams and other schoolwork, but I'm on holiday now, so videos should be back to once every 2 weeks, hopefully. Stay tuned, I've got a lot of bigger videos coming up soon that I'm really looking forward to making. Speaking of, if you want to suggest any video ideas, consider joining my Discord server, and if you want to vote on possible new videos, then I usually post polls on my community page. Thank you so much for watching.